Have you ever found yourself in a job search, reading through job posts, feeling a bit overwhelmed and thought to yourself, who am I kidding? I'm not good enough for this role. Or even if they did hire me and I did get the job, eventually they'd figure out that I don't have any idea of what I'm doing. If that sounds familiar to you, you're not alone. That's what's commonly referred to as imposter syndrome. It can seriously mess with your mind, your job search, your confidence, and even your ability to get hired. In this video, we're going to take a look at what imposter syndrome is, why you might be experiencing it in a job search, and most importantly, how do you deal with it so you can confidently move forward. First, my name is Doug with Career IQ. I'm a recruiter, a business leader, a career coach who's directly helped over 1,000 clients, and I've been quoted for career advice in multiple major publications. Be sure to check out my link in the description to find out how you can get help with your job search and your career and get a free resource from me. Let's dig in. So what is imposter syndrome? It's that nagging feeling that you're not as competent as other people might think you are, like you're faking it and you don't deserve the accomplishments or the role that you have. It's that feeling that you're kind of like a fraud, even though there's plenty of evidence to demonstrate that you are capable and you are qualified. The messages in your mind can sound like, hey, I only got this job because I'm lucky. Or you're reading a job post thinking, this job description is way out of my league, even though you've done a number of those functions in the past. Or, what if they ask me something in an interview and I completely fall apart? Some research would suggest that imposter syndrome affects as many as 70% of people sometime in their career, and that includes high performers. And when you're in a time of transition like a job search, it can show up loud and clear. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than 70%. I know that I've experienced it. Maybe you have too. If so, drop a comment down below and tell me about your experience and what you've learned. I'd love to hear from you. So why does imposter syndrome show up and seem to get even worse in job search? Well, job searching puts you under a microscope. You are constantly measuring yourself up against a job description, interviewers, LinkedIn profiles, and your work history that you either seem to wish was better or think should be better. Let's talk about a few of the reasons why imposter syndrome tends to spike during a job search. Number one, rejection feels personal. Every time you're ghosted or turned down, your brain says, see, I told you you weren't good enough. Number two, you're stepping outside your comfort zone. Applying to new jobs takes some courage. The more ambitious you are to apply for roles that may stretch you or advance your career, the more your inner critic may start talking to you. Number three, we have a tendency to compare ourselves to others during job search, whether it is online resumes, people on LinkedIn, coworkers who seem to have it all together. Comparison will steal your joy, and it's great fuel for imposter syndrome. Number four, you're out of your routine. Unless you're purposeful, job search lacks structure. And sometimes our identity is tied to the structure that we have in our lives. Without a title and a company attached to our name, it's easy to question our value. So how do I know if I'm struggling with imposter syndrome during a job search? I'm glad you asked. Number one, we tend to only apply for jobs where we meet 100% of the qualification when we're struggling with this. Yeah, I get it. The job market is competitive, but it's not always the most qualified person that gets the job. It's the one that markets themselves the best. The second one is that we can tend to procrastinate. We keep putting off writing our resume, networking, or even applying because we're afraid that we won't do it right. Even when we do begin to move forward, it's easy to, kind of obsess over preparing and never feeling ready. And one more, we tend to downplay our achievements. You might struggle to articulate your value in interviews or in your LinkedIn profile. And even if you do get some traction, we can tend to feel like, well, that was a fluke. If that sounds like you, it's one thing to know that you have imposter syndrome, but you don't want to stay there. Let's help you dig out of that. First, start to track evidence of your past success. Start a list, and every time you recall a compliment or a success or a problem that you solved, a promotion you received, write it down. These are not just feelings. These are the reality of what you have and can accomplish. When imposter syndrome kicks in, take out this list and remind yourself of what you're capable of. While you're at it, add to this list and track yourself as you move forward. As you learn something new and improve a skill, write it down so you can remind yourself that you're growing. And beyond reminding yourself, use this content to help you write stronger bullets for your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Next, reframe that narrative that's going off inside of your head. Instead of thinking, I'm not qualified, try, hey, I'm learning, or hey, nobody really knows everything going into a new role, or I'm bringing a great, unique mix of strengths. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to present your value, and value comes in many forms. Then it's time to reverse engineer some job descriptions. Pick out, say, 5 job postings that you feel might be a little bit out of your reach, and then do the following. Break down each required skill or responsibility and write out real-world examples, or maybe the closest match from your experience to each of those responsibilities and how you've done that. From there, highlight any gaps. This is now your learning plan, not your disqualifier. This turns I don't measure up into, hey, I'm closer than I thought and I have a plan. And this plan can also be a great asset for you when you're in an interview. And finally, apply before you feel ready. Don't let a list of nice to haves keep you from going for it. Confidence comes from doing, not waiting. And remember, it's not always the most qualified candidate that gets the job. Like I said, rather it's those who market themselves the best. Listen, feeling like an imposter doesn't mean you are one. It means that you care and you're growing. It means that you're pushing past what's comfortable. And that's where real transformation happens. If you'd like more information like this to help you in your job search, be sure to like and subscribe and check out the links in the description below. There you'll find out how you can get regular insights for your job search and check out my free resource for you. You've got this, even when your brain is trying to tell you otherwise.